Hey kids, we're a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, where the podcast explores the American animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest ones when they come out. Well, actually we do it 12 and beyond because we already talked about season 11. But why do we do it like this anyway? Well, there are plenty of other podcasts that explore the quote-unquote golden age of The Simpsons, that being seasons 1 through 10, and we want to find the goodness in the newer episodes, some of which are actually very old now. And I say we because I am one annoyed grunt boy named Steve, and with me, as always, is the other annoyed grunt boy,
Craig.
Hey, Craig. How's it going this week?
Same as it ever was. Same as it always is. Fine.
Okay, David Burnt.
David Burnt. You saying I'm a burnout?
Maybe.
Yeah, just doing what we need to do to get by in life. How about you?
That's right. And, one of those things to get by in life is to clean yourself. You're a mess.
Oh.
Not you, the listener, not you, Craig, but just in general. We all need to clean. And I think spring is a great time to clean. It's in between winter and summer. The all-star seasons, if you will. And autumn's the best season, no doubt about it. But spring, it's whatever. So I think it's always good to clean. And we have been doing some spring cleaning around these parts, cleaning up our episodes and redoing them. Our first 10 episodes specifically. And this week is no different because we're talking about Midnight RX, the 6th episode of the 16th season. But we've talked about it before, way back when... in what, I guess it would be 2019, when we were just starting this podcast, in our 6th episode. And as we like to do, we like to kind of look back to those simpler times and see just how bad of a podcast we were to make us feel a little bit better about how bad of a podcast we currently are. Welcome to the 138th Simpsons podcast. I'm your half-host, Steve.
And I'm the other half, Craig.
Craig, how are we doing?
We're doing great. Steve, I gotta say, thanks for joining me on this holiday.
Thank you, yes. Another that we are recording.
It's a Mardi Gras episode for us, Steve.
Yes, happy Fat Tuesday.
That's right. And because it is Fat Tuesday, I am going to do something that I don't know if I've ever done on this podcast before. And I am going to drink alcohol.
Ooh, it's bold. I might just have to join you.
All right. Well, cheers to you, Steve.
And a cheers to you, Craig.
Woo! Here's some beads.
Woo!
Okay. At first, I was like hopeful. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
The audio's not that great, but it's passable when you
And
introduce
it's
yourself.
a vast improvement to what we have been hearing.
And then all of a sudden, it went out, and you went just completely silent, cut off. And then I got nervous because I was like, wait a minute. I said, thank you for recording on a holiday, which all of a sudden I'm like, when did we record this? Because as of today, we are technically recording on a holiday. We are recording on a Memorial Day, but apparently we are recording only a few weeks ago on Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Or whenever Mardi Gras was in 2019. I guess it wasn't a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like, when is Mardi Gras? Like in early March?
Was it? Yeah. You'll just have to ask your local Catholic.
No, thank you.
So already I'm like, no, not good. I wanted to see where we started, but should I go forward a few minutes?
Yeah, cut ahead a little bit.
How about, I always like to go to the 10-minute mark. Why don't we go to the 13-minute mark?
Ooh.
I did not ask him if you could call him Timmy. I'm
right.
going to say yes, and if not, Timothy. If you're mad at that, email Craig.
Don't, and I'll keep calling you Timmy.
All right. Okay, so, gentlemen.
One of our main listeners, Timothy, was listening by then, so he's still with us. Thank you, Timothy.
Yes,
and I don't call you Timmy.
We're very sorry for calling you Timmy.
Let's jump ahead again to, 36 minutes.
That's a good time.
So, we come back, and Homer goes to an employment agency to get a job with, very strict regulations about no lifting, only working 5 hours a day. and tasteful nudity. And he
Sounds like your job.
Exactly. I work 7 hours a day. Thank you very much.
And your nudity is not very tasteful.
No, it's lewd. And rude.
Think of the children.
I do, believe me.
Oh no, is this a
I hope I don't make that same joke later in this episode. So, like, the audio is not great, but I think it's getting a little bit better. The awkward pauses are still there. So we need to, like, really truncate those pauses.
Yes.
One more clip.
One more clip.
What are you feeling?
Let's go. How long is the episode?
80 minutes.
Okay, let's go 72 minutes.
That might give away what we thought about the episode, but we'll find out.
I choose the episodes by hitting buttons on my phone to determine what season and what episode is going to be. So I thought a little fun game to play. We never play games. This is going to be maybe a new segment. Maybe. If you like it, let us know. Help us improve it. I just came up with it today. So what it's going to be is it's creating, I'm going to make Steve, who works in the field of improv.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give him a pitch. Well, not really a pitch. I'm going to give him two characters from The Simpsons, and he has to come up with a story around those characters. Or a B story, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be two characters right now. So we're going to Steve two characters.
Okay.
He's going to have to create a Simpsons episode.
Took me a while to get to what I was trying to say. Yeah, we used to do games at the end of the episodes. We stopped doing that.
It's true, yeah.
Because I think we couldn't think of anything else to play. But we kind of do that in one of our Patreon episodes we recently did, where we do the pitch.
Yeah.
Pitch the stories. Because we like doing that. That's the fun thing about talking about The Simpsons, is to come up with the stories about them. Like, because The Simpsons, it's endless possibilities, because it's a cartoon. You could make them do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I think that, maybe our improv skills, and I think we've improved on that too, I think we're better.
All right, well, as our 6th episode, I just feel like the audio a little bit better. It could be fixed. I could probably even fix that audio if I wanted to, but that's extra time that I don't want to do.
And we don't need to now that we're going to be talking about it today.
Absolutely.
And so let's go back in time yet again, but not to us and our dumb stuff. Let's go back all the way to, I don't know. Let's say, why not to January 16th, 2005. Craig, what was the number one movie in the box office?
It's the sequel to the hit sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter, where he changes his name to Carter, not Cotter. And he's a sports coach, and that's why it's Coach Carter.
Sports coaches are some of my favorite.
Which, is this with Mr. Sam Jackson?
I do believe, yeah. It's like You're the Man Now, Dog, but it's with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. In 1999, Ken Carter, played by Sam Jackson, returns to his old high school in Richmond, California, to get the basketball team into shape. With tough rules and academic discipline, he succeeds in setting the players on a winning streak. But when their grades start to suffer, Carter locks them out of the gym and shuts down their citizenship season.
Ooh.
Carter locks down their championship season when he is criticized.
If you lose, you're out of the country.
Jesus. When he is criticized by the players and their parents, he sticks to his guns. Oh no, there's guns involved and there's students.
This is an American movie.
Yeah, determined that they excel in class as well as in the court. So this is like a Lean on Me meets basketball, but there probably isn't like gang violence.
And no Edward James Olmos.
All right, Coach Carter. Yeah, I never saw this. Got 63 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Did you I think I skipped that movie. I'd rather be playing video games.
like Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, or maybe like another one where the protagonist in Red, I think, is like trying to get the love of a fair princess by rescuing her. And he's like, "Please, I just want to be with you. Why can't you allow me to give you affection?"
This sounds like the #1 hot Billboard song that you're describing. What is that?
Why, that's Let Me Love You by It's-A-Me, Mario.
Did you watch the new Super Mario Galaxy movie?
No, the critics were so harsh with it. The reviews were like, they were negative even before the movie came out. It was hard. Like, I couldn't battle it. I pity the poor idiot who can.
That all leads to the hot rock alternative for the week.
That's right, because the movie was dead on arrival because it was DOA by Foo Fighters.
I thought if you put apostrophe over the O, it'd be a DOA by the Foo Fighters.
Well, it's about Dave Grohl and his infidelity. Who is he sleeping with?
I think he was with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, okay. Not just some...
Not Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwen Stefani. That's what I meant. Is Gwen Stefani? Is that the name you were looking for? You're fishing for that name, right? For the next joke?
Yeah. Or some beach. I don't know.
Okay. Gwen Stefani, because she's married to who?
Why, Blake Shelton. And remember, if you're a woman and you're on The Voice, you've got a personality. And
that is the country song, right?
Yes, Some Beach by Blake Shelton.
Steve, have you ever been to, like when you're at the beach and all the ladies or boys in their Speedos or bikinis, and you're just so, like, horny, you're very, you just want to, caress their half-naked bodies because you're a creep.
No, I'm actually more interested in the sandcastles because I am interested in molesting those, and I'm also interested in money like sand dollars or other real money from other countries.
All right, so what was the hot dance electric?
Tempted to Touch by Rupee. And with that wonderful note, let's get to today's episode. Today we're talking about Midnight RX, in which, when Mr. Burns terminates the employee prescription drug program, the citizens of Springfield are no longer able to afford their very expensive but much-needed drugs. So in order to keep the town medicated, Homer, Grampa, Apu, and Flanders travel to Canada to buy the drugs with fake Canadian health cards. Wow. Let's give it a watch. We'll be right back.
I want a new drug. One that won't make me sick. One that won't make me crash my car and make me feel free. I want a new job. One that won't hurt my head.
And we're back. Today we're talking about Midnight RX, the 6th episode of the 16th season. It is episode 341 in the show's run. It originally aired on January 16th, 2005. Your nerd code is FABF16. It was written by Marc Wilmore, directed by Nancy Kruse, and your showrunner is Al Jean.
All right, Marc Wilmore. We have talked about him 5 times, including this one, and he has 11 episodes, starting with Treehouse of Horror 13. He has a segment called Send in the Clones. We haven't reviewed that one yet.
No.
But we did do Bart of War, which was from season 14. The Good, the Sad, and the Drugly. Let's talk about the drugs in
Indeed.
For Regrettings and a Funeral. And his final episode ever was My Fair Lady from season 26, episode 14. That was our 369th episode. And I said final because Marc Wilmore passed away in 2021 from COVID and other conditions.
It's a shame.
Besides writing those episodes for The Simpsons, he was also a writer for In Living Color and became a cast member for the final season. Also worked on the PJs and that shitty Tonight Show. You know, the one with Jay Leno?
Of course, yes. And we also know his brother, Larry Wilmore, is a great writer, comedy writer, and performer who was on The Daily Show and had his own show for a little while.
And we'll be telling you all of this again once we get to My Pods and Broomsticks, Exit Through the Quickie Mart, The Spy Who Learned Me, and some other Treehouse of Horrors.
Can't wait. But for now, let's just get on with it. And we have a couch gag. And it goes like this. The family sits down and runs on the couch, and nothing happens. Lisa looks at the camera and says, "What? Can't we just sit on the couch without anything happening?" And then a spear stabs Homer in the chest, who responds with an annoyed grunt.
All right, let's play Punch Up. Just for fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the death of Homer in this.
Sure,
but
yeah.
What would have been a fun, unexpected thing to happen after Lisa's comment?
Ooh, Marge farts. I know we don't like farts, but you never hear a fart.
Or sharts.
Ooh,
You see
yeah.
brown trickle down.
Jeez.
No. Bart makes out with Lisa.
Okay. Maggie makes out with Homer.
A nice. Here, I'll be serious. A nice callback to a Treehouse of Horror, like we were talking about. Maggie's feet fell off and they're the tentacles.
Ooh, yeah. The Griffin family comes in and moves them out of the way and sits on the couch.
I feel like that's probably been done. Was that probably the Simpsons crossover episode?
Probably, yeah.
Hey, we reviewed that. What's it, Simpsons Guy for our Patreons only. Wasn't that like one of our inaugural? I think that was our inaugural Patreon episode.
I do believe, yeah. It's weird that we've been doing that for almost a year now.
It's been a year. I think I saw our metrics say that it's been 1 year since Patreon. So thanks to those who are Patreon, and those who aren't, please join Patreon. Patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoys. It's just $5 a month. You got it right now, just falling out of your couch and in your shoe.
Indeed. In this economy, who can't afford $5 for something?
Well, Steve, let's just actually begin the episode. Is that okay?
All right, get on with it.
Okay, so our episode begins, as it always does, at the Springfield Air and Space Museum, which has a banner outside the entrance featuring the faces of C. Montgomery Burns and Wayland Smithers, welcoming the hard-working employees of the nuclear power plant. Marge is surprised that Burns would reserve the entire museum simply for an office party, and Lisa feels that's unfair for the regular visitors. So some of those regular visitors, including the Splucklers who drove 18 hours to get there, where
are they coming from?
Yeah. Wow, so Brandine is upset, but Cletus is more optimistic, enjoying the softness of the rope barricading him from the learning institution.
Also, why are the Splucklers so eager to get to the Air and Space Museum? Like, do they care about flight? I don't know.
Like, our closest Air and Space Museum is probably about 45 minutes away from Portland. Is it in Newburgh, or I know there's one down there somewhere.
Yeah, because my dad was a lifelong member, and it is the home of the Spruce Goose.
Yeah. Well, there's one we have a couple of them, but maybe Tillamook is the one that has the Spruce Goose. I forget.
Yeah, and then there's also one in SeaTac, Seattle-Tacoma, because I had a great aunt who lived in Seattle, and when I was a boy, we'd drive up there to see her, and then I'd get bored, so their weird, creepy, shut-in son, who I guess would be my cousin, would take me to their museum, and I realize now that it's just like, oh, they're both autistic, so they'd enjoy this, but I didn't really care.
Yeah, my uncle used to always take me to air shows when I was a kid.
Something about uncles and air shows. I don't know what it is. Well, inside, Homer is eager to partay, but Marge reminds him that he is surrounded by coworkers. And he responds by ripping off his shirt, spinning it around and chanting, "Restraint!" He then proceeds to do some shirtless push-ups, reveling in his one chance to relax with people from his office, such as his supervisor, who's quite stern. Mr. Burns makes some rounds, showing his trademark personal touch that makes him so beloved.
Well, if it isn't my favorite employee and his spouse. And these must be children. Have a ginger root.
Mr. Burns acting nice? That's odd. He must be up to something.
Lise, Mr. Burns is the sweetest, kindest man I know.
How many men do you know?
Basically him and Dad.
Nice tux, Mo.
Yeah, thanks. I bought this for my funeral. It ain't got no back, so don't make me turn around. Hey, I'm paying for a silk-lined coffin, and damn it, I'm gonna feel it.
Since the dawn of aviation, man has built museums dedicated to the history of flight and created audiovisual materials to orient visitors to those museums. From the hand-drawn flipbook at the Wright Brothers Museum to the IMAX movie at Cape Canaveral, Aviation Museum audiovisual materials have taken patrons and docents alike on a rocket ride to comprehension. This is the story of those materials.
I like the pilots getting teary-eyed at the video about the learning material about flight.
I mean, when you were a kid going to museums, that was the best part, because you get to sit and watch a movie instead of walking around looking at things. That's too hard.
Yeah, I like it when you're in like a dimly lit room with like one single bench, and there's like a 7-minute video that you just watch, and like you always walk in halfway through it, And so then you sit down to watch the whole thing, but then you like get bored. Yeah, it's just an experience.
Because it just plays a loop, so you just walk in whenever you want to. And then someone's always eating like corn nuts, so it smells.
Yep.
Or ginger roots, because, we loved when old men would just hand us ginger roots and eat them right there and like not be bothered by it.
Yep. Oh, I got a turmeric root. Ugh.
I want to mention something before the clip I thought was interesting when Marge is scolding Homer about him acting a fool in front of his employees.
Oh,
is this because way back in season 1 when she got drunk at an employee party, she really embarrassed herself, so that's why she doesn't want Homer to do the same.
I think you're right. That's a good callback.
One of the most awkward things ever Marge has done on The Simpsons because her character wasn't established yet.
Yeah, and it's funny now that you look at it because that's so not Marge. But I do like to see her get a little wasted. It's fun.
Always fun when you see women get wasted, is what Steve says.
That's right.
All right, well, a performer in a giant mascot head of Mr. Burns walks into the museum, delighting children with his disco dance moves, and Homer knocks on the head and asks the character to act like Mr. Burns, and the actor does various dance moves, and Homer laughs, saying that, yeah, that's his boss. He's captured him to a T.
Just doing the robot or whatever. So then a tour guide leads a crowd of people to the Enola Gay biplane and a video showing the wing walkers of the area. A tour guide leads a crowd of people to the Enola Gay biplane and a video shows the wing walkers of the era, including one Agnes Skinner. So we see the young Lamb of God climbing the wing while in midair, then riding a unicycle on the plane, and then dancing on stilts. The plane flies through a barn, resulting in Agnes on the shoulders of a cow, who is on stilts, still on the wings of a plane.
Isn't that a little oxymoronic? Enola Gay biplane? Like, just pick one. You're either bi or you're gay.
Yeah, it should just be the Enola biplane. And frankly, I don't care who the plane sleeps with. As long as it flies, it's all right in my book.
Like, we don't care if you're gay or bi. Like, it's not our business. That's what I'm trying to say.
If you want to mess around with helicopters, I won't bat an eye. It's none of my business.
So you don't have to proclaim, but just know that we support you for whoever you are. So Homer witnesses the plywood pelican, noting that it's about time trees were put to good use instead of just, sitting there like wooden jerks they are. So Lisa recites some facts about the aircraft, and the Simpsons discover the real reason for the party.
The plywood pelican was larger than a football field. It weighs more than the state of New Hampshire. It was only flown once by its creator, Mr. C. Montgomery Burns.
I flew it at an altitude of 6 feet for a distance of 4.5 feet. Then we discovered rain makes it catch fire. Then the Fuhrer fired me.
What a magical party this has been. Mr. Burns is a great man.
I've got a bad feeling about all this.
Come on, Marge. This place is great. Free admission, great grub, and we got to use the bathroom of the future.
Homer, that was Apollo 12.
Greetings, wage donkeys. Is everyone happy and content?
Yeah. This is great. I would die for you.
Is your sense of outrage dulled?
Spill it, Super Boss!
Very well. Effective immediately, the employee prescription drug program is terminated.
What?
In these days of rising healthcare costs, blah, 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 lip service, get out!
I like how everyone just forgets two things. One, that Burns is a monster and a horrible boss, but he held one party. But also, he had the spruce moose. Also, he's had 2 wooden planes.
That's true. I get so confused. I get this one and the Trouble with Trillions, because doesn't he fly in that episode too?
Well, he flies in that one, but I think the spruce moose was from Springfield, Springfield.
Right.
So yeah, he's quite the airman.
I think it's because he's a caricature, right, of the aviator himself.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right. That's a movie I've never seen. That was like the beginning of it was during Netflix DVDs, and I had a DVD burner, so I would rent like every new movie on Netflix and then save them to another, copy them to another DVD. So I remember I did that to The Aviator. I'm like, okay, I would start having a collection of movies that I'm going to watch. Never watched them.
Yeah, that's the thing about like archiving like all the media that you can, is eventually you're going to reach a point where you just have too much and you're never going to get to it. I've never seen The Aviator either, and I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, I like Martin Scorsese, I like DiCaprio.
But you have so many other options if that's your thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I think I'd rather watch The Departed for the 25th time than The Aviator.
I was watching an old episode of Growing Pains. That's going to be my Leo choice.
And I always love it when the punchline of something always ends with, and the Führer was mad. So,
right, yeah.
And working with Adolf Hitler, it's just peak. Of course he would.
Yeah, it's so good. Also, I love like the weird statistics about how big and how unwieldy the plane was.
Good stuff.
So, looking at a reservation, Lisa notes that the loss of healthcare must be that nasty surprise listed in the notice. And then an angry crowd mobs the stage, but Burns and Smithers make an exit using a prototype flying car contraption. Wayland reminds his boss that the machine never actually worked, but Monty says he simply must believe. So Wayland begins to pedal with all of his might, pushing the car forward while also flapping the attached umbrella.
So the horde of angry people get closer, but as a hopeful E.T. style John Williams music plays, Burns and Smithers take flight, soaring across the moon like E.T. to their desired destination. Do you think the whole E.T. moon thing should be cliche jailed?
Yes. Maybe not in 2005, but yes, I think at this point, definitely.
2000. So it was still like a 20-year-old movie.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it is a little tired. Yeah.
I think cliches of something from a famous movie maybe only have a decade shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times we've adhered to that. You know, we're not walking around saying, yeah, baby, shagadelic. We're not doing the Austin Powers thing anymore, and that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's time to bring it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there has to be, like, a window where that comes back around, and you're just like, oh, that's funny again, like, swing.
You know, we've said it before, but Michael Scott, or Steve Carell, I guess, really ruined That's What She Said, because that was fun to say before The Office.
Mm-hmm.
But then after The Office, when people say it, it's just like, oh, come on, we don't do this anymore. Like, I just think that I don't want all that mess in my mouth.
That's what she said.
It's just hard and slimy and doesn't grasp me.
That's what she said.
Okay.
I deserve to make the same amount of money as a man.
Anyways,
that's
let's back to the
what
show.
she said.
Anyway, so their destination, Steve, is Pirate Island.
Now, do you live on Pirate Island where you stole all those videos from Netflix and Blockbuster Video?
I didn't steal. I borrowed. And
okay.
I read the little warning on the thing. It says illegal to sell. I never sold them, Steve. They were for personal use.
But let me ask you, Craig, would you download a car?
Yeah, I'm printing one right now on our 3D printer.
Oh, cool.
Unfortunately, it's the Flintstones mobile, so I have to actually, do the...
Well, you get a good workout.
Yeah. And I downloaded your Rosie the Robot sex doll you wanted me to.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. J, you want a blowjob?
Unfortunately, I downloaded the wrong voice. You're going to be getting Mr. Spacely.
You're blown!
And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Rosie. It looks like Eeyore. What was the kid's name?
Elroy.
Elroy, yeah. It looks like Elroy there.
Oh. Well, as long as he's got the pointy hat, I'm fine.
As Wayland continues to pedal, Monty wonders aloud if Carol from payroll and Mike from shipping are going to hook up. But then Smithers points out that Mike is married, so Burns instructs him to change course so they can warn Carol. Now, I know that's the punchline, but I really want to just continue following this story. Like, how funny would it be if, like, we just see the adventures of, like, Burns franticking throughout the entire episode and just has no plot after that?
I would love that. Also, because we recently talked about, like, how Smithers is kind of indifferent towards other employees. And so it'd be funny if Smithers was along for the ride, but reluctantly, and he's like, oh, God, I just want to go home. It's like, we gotta worry about Carol. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
There's something like to that. Then once they get to Carol and, he tells a story to Carol, he like does what he does. But then Carol's like, gives him another mission to go on, and then Burns is like, "Oh my god, I gotta do that now!" And then like, "Let's go, Smithers." Like, and that's just the whole plot of the episode.
That's the spin-off show that we need.
You mean we don't need the Stewie Griffin spinoff?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing that's happening?
Yeah, that's real.
Damn, why? Okay, anyway. At the kitchen table...
Don't worry, Seth MacFarlane, I think, donates a lot of his Fox money to charities.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So at the kitchen table, Marge punches the numbers and figures that without a health plan, the family will really have to cut back on their diseases. Homer offers to take a second, well-paying job, such as being a new friend on the show Friends. And Lisa points out that the show is no longer on the air, which frustrates Homer. And showing off his Irish accent, Homer says that he would have been perfect as Seamus, Rachel's cousin from Dublin. Sure, the friends all do each other, but who's going to put out for old Seamus?
Well, probably not Rachel, right? That's his cousin.
One would hope not.
I was just thinking, and I know I shouldn't bring this up because it will exist, and I could probably make it happen now, but with AI, we could actually just do this. We can say, all right, put Homer Simpson in, but he plays a character named Seamus, who's Rachel's cousin from Ireland, and then we would see weird Uncanny Valley Friends AI, like, as real people, and then Homer as Seamus, but as the Simpson.
And it's funny because you turn Homer not only into an Irishman, but also in, like, Friends, like, 90s Gap wear.
And he's an actor, and Homer's actually acting as Seamus.
So you'd probably, like, have a wig and facial hair.
Yeah.
And maybe be a redhead.
All right, so since we're going to have AI do it, who's he going to hook up with? He didn't specifically say the women, he just said any of them.
Yeah, maybe that's why Ross is so grumpy.
I would think Homer and Joey would hang out, and they'd be perfect together. They would just watch TV, eat junk food.
That's true.
Blow each other, because that's what needs to happen. All right, AI, did you get that? Please generate that video and send it to POTUS@whitehouse.gov. Thank you.
Please,
right.
Yes.
We then head to the Springfield Unemployment Agency, where you go when you need to show the state you tried. So at the counter, Homer tells the job placement specialist that he's looking for a job with full health benefits that only require 5 hours of work a day, no heavy lifting, no light clerical, and none of that Secret Santa bullshit. Though, he's open to tasteful nudity. Like,
that's good.
This is like the ideal American. Like, that's all we want. And if that's all we think we want and need, just shows like that's probably how we should have as a work life. I'm not saying to be lazy.
No.
But, like, I think morale would be so much better if we just had light work for 5 hours a day. I mean, for 4 days, then 3 days off.
It makes perfect sense. And, you know, before the advent of agriculture, that was life. Like, hunters and gatherers, like, they would hunt food that would last for like 3 days. So they just kind of hang out and tell stories and make art. And then we decided that we need to work all the time to have stuff to do. And then it just snowballed into capitalism, and it's bad. So yeah, this is what we need.
Yeah, and in their time, their nudity was tasteful, but now it's just gross.
It is. It's too obscene. And, of course, because they were before Christ, there was no Secret Santa bullshit. And no typewriters, so no light clerical. So, yeah. The employment agent tells Homer he'll have to see what he has available, so he goes to his computer, and it's revealed that he's just playing a first-person shooter game. And the game tells him that he just defeated the Doombot and sealed the portal, thereby making Phobos safe. Hearing this, Homer thinks that Phobos would be a good job for him. Meanwhile, it seems that the nuclear power plant isn't the only company reducing benefits, as we'll hear in this clip from Kent Brockman.
Following the lead of Springfield Nuclear Power, other local companies are canceling their prescription drug plans, even here at Channel 6.
Now, kids, I want you to go to your parents' medicine cabinet and find all the pills labeled lithium dibromide and send them to me. Now! No one likes a bipolar clown.
To cope with the crisis, many consumers are turning to alternative forms of treatment.
I've had to medicate Ralphie with stuff from the evidence locker.
I'm cuckoo for contraband!
Of course, this wouldn't be necessary if retail drug prices were reasonable. Dr. Julius Hibbert, do you agree?
Well, I can't give the drug companies a break. They have lots of hidden costs, and they know how to treat a brother.
I like Krusty's manic episode. I don't know. Just that sound always makes me laugh.
It's because he needs his lithium borohydride.
Yeah.
Did I say that correctly? Lithium?
Lithium, yes.
Yeah. Although I didn't say the word correctly, I said correctly. Lithium is a treatment to prevent cognition in elders.
That's right. It's also an okay Nirvana song.
They haven't come out with a new album recently. What's their problem?
Lazy assholes. Where you at, Chris Novoselic? Get to work.
All right. So decked out in his Prolesic tracksuit, Allegra baseball cap, and Celebric's gold chain, Hibbert introduces the fine-looking females of Pfizer. These scantily clad women dance and writhe on giant prescription pill bottles and syringes as Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back plays. Julius dances along before adding, the possible side effects may include dizziness, shortness of marriage. Darn.
That's right.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back is a song that can go in song jail.
Wow. Okay.
I could go my rest of my life without hearing it.
I get what you're saying. I don't think it's appropriate for this instance, especially. I don't have that big of a problem with it, but I understand what you're saying. It is a one-hit wonder that has been wondered too much.
It just always is a musical cue, and just like, all right, we get it. Like, can there be another singer that talks about women's butts? Please?
Come on, hip-hop community, get at that. Write a second song about a female form.
I mean, that's the whole. It's not the song in general itself. It's just it's overused. Like,
yeah, it is.
I will be happy if I've never have to hear the Village People ever again.
I agree with that. And also, Sir Mix-a-Lot is, he has more than that. What about Put 'Em on the Glass? Or his collab with the presidents of the United States of America?
Like, I don't want to hear any. I was gonna say like Ice Ice Baby. I don't know ever to hear that again. But the only song I think I could from Vanilla Ice still listen to, of course, is the Ninja Rap from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's still,
of course, that's
a great song.
Evergreen. Evergreen because the turtles are green. Go Ninja, go get Ninja, go Ninja Rap. So on the other side of town, Marge and Lisa pay a visit to Farmer John's Pharmaceuticals. That's Farmer with a PH. A drug company rep is happy to speak with the mother and daughter who have snuck past security and burst into his office. So Marge wants to know why a single pill is $30, and Lisa is quick to point out that medical coverage isn't nearly as expensive in other countries. And the rep retorts that in other countries, they also lie on the floor eating bugs. And Lisa is curious to know which countries he's talking about, and he suggests Norway after learning that Lisa's never been there.
If you've never been to Norway and you live in the States, you can actually visit Little Norway here in Washington.
Really?
Yeah, there's a little town kind of over up the Seattle area-ish around there. It's called Palousba, I think is the name. Yeah. It's on Liberty Bay, and if you look at pictures, it's spelled Poulsbo, and if you look at pictures, it's very much looks like a little coastal Norway town.
That's amazing.
They have like the Norwegian little festivals. Washington has like cool shit, like Leavenworth, Washington, which is a Bavarian village. We also have a replica of Stonehenge. So
wow,
why am I like being a travel agent? It's like, come visit the state of Washington.
It's like Europe, but smaller,
but somehow bigger. I think isn't like
yeah, probably.
Our climate in the Pacific Northwest is very much like France. We are the France of America.
Yes, we don't like war, and we love to see ladies dance.
We make wine.
We do, and we like a stripy shirt and smoke too much.
Look, espresso's hot here. Oh, that's Italian, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a French roast that's really bad, but it's,
That's called Seattle's best coffee here in the States.
Precisely.
Or, actually, I'm sorry to throw shade at Seattle's best. I'm talking about Starbucks.
Well, have you know that Starbucks owns Seattle's best, so you're fine.
Okay. I hope it's just, one billionaire that owns everything. That's all we need.
That's all right.
We're talking about like drug and pharmaceutical companies. Like that's the grossest thing that we have, I think, is pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. I mean, not a political podcast, but yeah, it's just pretty messed up that still to this day and age we having drug commercials and drugs are a product, not they're a product at all. It's weird.
It's just so weird that there's doctors that their whole life is to help people, but then pharmaceutical companies come and say, hey, we will give you money if you make this drug the drug to use.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll get more money from patients if you use this. It's gross. I don't like it.
No.
That's why I can never be a doctor.
That's the only reason.
So the farmer, John agent, then says that he thanks God for paying too much for drugs. And then he corrects himself, saying that the people pay just the right amount. And then corrects himself again, saying that they don't pay enough. He then starts a video and runs out of the room, leaving Marge and her daughter Lisa behind.
So on the video, New Age music plays as we see footage of the majestic Amazon River. The announcer states that the natives had a word for that large body of water, but the company got rid of the natives, and no one really remembers the word. But some words that people do remember are the lyrics to Ghostbusters, I Want a New Drug, by Huey Lewis and the News. So, the music video for the 1983 hit plays, leaving Lisa and Marge confused.
It's just funny how there's no conclusion to the video, so they just play a music video.
Mm-hmm.
Good video bits in this episode. This one and then the museum one.
Also, a lot of music in this video that is not specifically relevant to the episode, because we had your beloved Sir Mix-a-Lot, we had Huey Lewis, and later on we'll get some Jefferson Airplane, which is another song that you don't like.
Which song?
One Pill Makes You Horny.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's also another one that's overplayed. I guess we won't point it out when we get to it, but thank you for pointing that out.
Mm-hmm.
But it works great for me when there's lots of musical cues, because I have to edit music into our actual podcast.
Right.
I hate it when there's episodes where they don't use pop music. I can't have an intro theme to our podcast. So at the Springfield Retirement Castle, the daily medication is handed out, but the residents notice some subtle changes. Instead of his usual pill, old Jewish man got a corn nut, and Jasper's got a bottle cap. Abe is disappointed as this medicine just flies away, as it is now just a, housefly. So the nurse steps in behind a barred cage before offering an The nurse steps behind a barred cage before offering an explanation.
Your pills have become very expensive, and no one gives a rat's ass about you. So, after a lot of thought, we decided to let you go cold turkey. For those of you who survive the night, we'll be having waffles tomorrow.
Ooh, waffles.
I didn't die in World War II just to be pushed around by some pill-hoarding hussy. I'm gonna fight this thing.
Ugh, he's crazy. But what are you gonna do? He's young.
Well, the drug company won't do anything to help us.
I got the answer. Dad? Oh, thank God it's the right place. I burst into 4 homes before this one. Now listen, all the drugs we want are right across the border. I have a friend who'll help us. The border, eh? Then I'd better sand off my fingerprints. Oh! Oh! I could just wear gloves. Nah, they're upstairs.
That's so painful to watch because I get.
Oh yeah.
The fact he's like, gloves are upstairs. That's too far. How many times have I been so lazy that I'm not going to get up and do something?
It's it happens all the time, and I'm too lazy to think of examples.
I think it's like, I need a napkin. It's too far. I'll use my sleeve.
Mm-hmm. I've done that today. I like in the beginning of that clip in the retirement castle.
Steve, we don't need to know about your pound off schedule.
Oh, sorry. I didn't use my sleeve. I used my mouth. Speaking of, it's nice to see the old lady from previous episodes, the Can I Come Too lady. She was in the retirement castle, along with what kind of looks like the boss guy from the arcade game, the big round rotund guy.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you're right. The Can I Come To.
A little off model, but yeah.
I know, but I was going to say the Can I Come To is the nicknames of every girlfriend I've ever had.
And the answer is always no. Let's take your money and leave.
I did the best I could.
So, ready to cross the border, Homer sports a poncho and a sombrero, and he drives to the border with Abe in the passenger seat, offering the agent a friendly "Hola, senor." Homer says that he and his father are gringos looking to spend mucho dinero in the country. And the Border Patrol agent is happy to welcome them to the country of Canada, which is now Celine Dion free.
So let me get this straight. Abe knows they're going to Canada because he's got his connections in Canada, but Homer still thinks they're going to Mexico. And he doesn't tell him anything like, we're going to Mexico, or we're going to Canada, not Mexico.
It should also be noted that Homer's the one driving.
This was still, when we didn't have GPS in your phone or you're in a car, unless you have like an expensive GPS system. So we were still like map questing. So maybe Homer got the address and still thought that he was going to Mexico via Canada. Mm-hmm. Or Homer's just that dumb. But Abe didn't mention, like, why are you being racist and wearing a sombrero and a poncho?
I don't know that Abe would be the first one to call out any cultural sensitivities, but also, given the state of wherever Springfield is in, it's probably equidistant to drive from Canada or to Mexico, so it all works out.
Let's go back to racism real quick.
Please.
Is it racist to wear a poncho and a sombrero? What if I'm just wearing like my jeans and a t-shirt, but I need a sombrero because it's really sunny out and it helps keep the sun out, and I need a poncho because it might rain.
I get your point, and I think inherently it's not offensive, but I feel like you're skirting to get into kind of like some dangerous territory. But again, like it's not for me to decide.
Okay, if you see me walking down the street and I'm just wearing a poncho, well, I would say like pants, shoes, shirt with a poncho, no hat though. Are you thinking I'm weird? I
do think you're a little weird.
But am I racist?
Probably not, just a weirdo.
Okay, what if I'm walking down the street, I got my, denim jacket and cargo shorts and some Birkenstocks, and I'm wearing a Def Leppard t-shirt, tank top, and I have a sombrero. Then what do you think of me?
I think, it's Tuesday and I'm seeing Craig walking down the street.
But do you think I'm racist?
I mean, no more than I normally think you're racist. You're just in your everyday wear. What am I supposed to think?
But I think a random person would be like, okay, you guys just wearing a sombrero because it's sunny out.
Yeah.
So, and I put a poncho on, then all of a sudden I'm cosplaying as a culture.
Could be, yeah. I don't know. It's iffy. Like, if you were wearing lederhosen and a leather cap, is that offensive?
I mean, I wear that every Tuesday, like you said.
It's true.
I mean, I do professionally wear lederhosen, so that's a story for another time, I suppose. Let's just get back to The Simpsons.
All right.
In the halls commemorating the veterans of one war, Abe visits his friend Johnny, who has fake Canadian health cards that will allow Abe and Homer to buy enough drugs to make Regina look like Saskatoon. Because Regina's a very clean and trimmed place, where Saskatoon, they just let it all go natural.
Yes, I love a clean Regina.
So to show his gratitude, Grampa gives Johnny a DVD player, though Johnny can't figure out where to put the syrup. All right. Is this just like a joke that doesn't work now? Like,
yeah, I guess it's just old people not understanding technology.
But now that joke works of like, who has a DVD player? So like,
that is true, yeah.
So the joke works now of like, what is this? We don't use DVDs.
Yeah. So with their fraudulent medical cards, Abe and Homer head to the Dudley Do Drugs pharmacy. Abe is looking to get a whole array of drugs along with an auto-inflating blood pressure monitor with C-cuff and a case. The pharmacist is happy to oblige for a fellow Canadian. And hearing this, Abe is angered, saying that those are fighting words, but then remembers the situation and corrects himself, saying those are correct words.
So Abe makes his way to the self-service portion of the drugstore. It's like, when you go to a candy store and you can put your own Jelly Bellies or penny candy or whatever it is, the candy store you want. I like to be a jerk and get a bag of jelly beans, but I get like black licorice and then lemon and lime.
Ew. Lime.
And say, have fun. I think one time we did go to a candy store at the coast and like didn't realize how much like weight it was going to be. It ended up being like $40 of candy.
Oh, God.
So Homer fills a seemingly scented pill box and divide it into daily dose medications. And so they jump into the air with glee as text appears on the screen saying things like, 2 refills remaining, take as directed, and blood pressure normal. So with the drugs acquired, Homer and Abe just need to make it across the border and share the pills.
Anything to declare?
I declare that you have the most beautiful brown eyes.
Why, I do believe you're smuggling. A heart as big as all outdoors. Now get in my country, you big lug.
Did he have a passport?
Yes, to my heart.
Drugs! Various drugs! Be sure to read instructions! Uh-oh! Where'd I put the instructions? Now, who's next? I got pills to make you sleep late, coagulate, eliminate, and copulate. In that order.
Grampa, we would like to thank you for all you have done for us. Please accept this Operation Dumbo Drop souvenir jacket. Look, they used the same D for Dumbo and the drop. Ha! Unbelievably, only 3 were ever purchased.
I asked Jeeves the Dumbo Drop like poster and logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real. They didn't use the D twice or once.
That's lame. They really tried in a couple episodes to make the Los Souvenir Jaquitos a thing, and I just think they really fall flat. I don't think they work really well.
Yeah. What were they wearing? One was the main guy was the Planet Hollywood Hard Rock Cafe, and then just like a Tasmanian Devil, but it's probably like the old Warner Brothers stores that were in malls.
Mm-hmm.
And God, remember when like Tasmanian Devil was just like everywhere for some weird reason in the 90s?
Yeah, the weird like pre-Space Jam hip-hop resurgence of the Looney Tunes that was basically just Bugs Bunny and Taz dressed like crisscross with like baseball jerseys backwards and jeans on a white t-shirt. Like it had a moment from like August 92 to like April of 94, but it was like a strong moment that lasted surprisingly long time.
I think it still exists. Like I still would be at like a county fair and see airbrush t-shirts or, where is Disney princesses that look like gangsters. Like I still see Tweety Bird gangster.
I think also like Gen Z's weird fascination with 90s fashion, like the worst of it, is also helping keep that going.
Yeah, I think if some Gen Zers looked in my closet, no, I don't really have it. It's actually Heather that has a lot of her old clothes. She could probably sell to some Gen Zers, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
make some
like
money.
that choker look is back. So
I just want to put on some white makeup and dye my hair green, so I can't wait till the Joker look is back.
I think because the Batman 2 is finally being filmed and Sebastian Stan's playing Two-Face, I think we're going to have like a lot of people being Two-Face. I could just see that be the cool look. The gooner look. Is that the term kids use, gooner? What is that? I've heard that term.
That is a masturbator.
Oh, well, sure Two-Face likes to masturbate.
Who doesn't?
Do you think Two-Face's dick is like half normal and half scarred? Like,
yeah, I think so. And like one testicle.
Well, like one is a hammer, then one looks like a burnt like hot dog, all wrinkly, and then one testicle is like burnt and got gray pubes.
Where does the pee hole divide? Like, is it like an even split, or
does it come out like one side just like urine, the other side like flaming hot acid? Is that like one of like his powers? Like he could pull out his hammer and just like pee on Batman and it'll burn Batman's suit.
I think so. Yeah.
Does he have like when he takes a shit? Does one side salt and the other's just diarrhea?
Yes.
It sucks to be Two-Face.
It does, and like, yeah, we got it. We covered it.
And
can't think of any other body parts.
But does that mean Mr. Freeze, if he jacks off, like his cum is just like icicles?
Yes, but unfortunately, it's also very small because of shrinkage.
Oh no!
His wife. That's why his wife is in that stage. She's like, oh, it's so small.
She's so
I'm
frigid.
just going to pretend to be dead. Yeah.
This is an interesting discussion of villains members. We'll have to
Clayface.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It can be whatever you want it to be. And Calendar Man is very conscious of when his partner's on their period. So Homer comes home to find the house empty. Hearing the sounds of a ukulele, he steps to the backyard, where the rest of the family wish him an aloha, as they have created a luau in his honor. And Homer notes that it's like actually being in Hawaii, except you don't get beat up when you leave your hotel.
Is that how it works in Hawaii? I don't remember getting beat up.
Well, then you were doing it wrong.
So the celebration is to show gratitude for Homer's drug running. Since Lisa can stay on Xanax, she no longer has anxiety about being a Simpson, though she is a little anxious about the fact that she's on Xanax. So luckily, there's Zoloft for that. Bart is happy to have a drug mule daddy, so Homer then pulls out several condoms full of drugs from his mouth, and this causes an upset stomach, so he takes some drugs, and a scene that they should be consumed with food, Homer finds a condom with a sandwich inside.
Pretty smart.
Give that penis a sandwich, they say.
Yes. And give that sandwich a penis. And that's why I can't go to Subway anymore.
Well, then, they're really gross.
Yeah, that's true. And it smells like bread farts in there. When Homer walks into the Quickie Mart, Apu invites his favorite customer to paw through the Play Dudes and to tell him to go back to some country that he isn't actually from. And Homer acknowledges the kind treatment, causing Apu to beg to go along with Homer on one of his drug runs. It seems the octuplets are driving him crazy with all the coughing, sneezing, and general oozing. Apu adds that his janitor in a drum is afraid to come out, adding that he is so tired his jokes aren't even making sense anymore. For those of you who don't know, such as myself, a janitor in a drum is a branded home cleaning product that has claims of being industrial strength, but is available to the public. And it's just like a floor cleaner or whatever.
Thanks for that information, Steve.
Indeed.
Now, back to the show. Ned looks to Homer for assistance as well, saying that Rod needs insulin. Ned can't stand to see his son Jones diddly-jonesing, so Homer is unsure about helping Flanders, considering Ned hasn't done a single thing for him since he lent him $5,000 the previous day. Ned never claimed to be the perfect neighbor, but Apu sweetens the deal by offering Homer 10 minutes alone with the squishy machine. No questions asked. Homer requests no cameras, and Apu reluctantly agrees. Is he fucking that machine, or just...
One's got to assume, yeah. Maybe a little bit of both.
Like, you're an adult. That doesn't sound enticing.
No, I don't want, syrupy hammer. Like, the mystery of the squishy machine, the way that the Simpsons make it look so alluring. But if I had a Slurpee machine, I feel like after like 2 weeks, I'd just sell it. Like, I don't know that I'd have that much interest in a Slurpee machine, especially since I don't drink alcohol that much anymore. Like, it loses its appeal real quick.
I think I maybe crave like a Slurpee like once a year, and that's usually if it's hot and I'm so thirsty and I'm out of water, and like the Slurpee sounds great, but that's just going to lead to me drinking a lot more water.
Right, and you have that one Slurpee, and like the first probably 80% of it is glorious, but then you're left with a sticky mess, and you're like, whatever.
I'm still just a classic. Just give me the cherry and the Coke together. I like that flavor combo.
Do like the banana flavor, but that's just me. Homer hits the road back to Canada with Abe asleep next to him and Ned and Apu in the back seat. Apu is frustrated with Ned trying to convert him and asks for Homer to step in. Ned calls Apu brave for worshipping a false god, but Apu explains that instead of one god, he worships a whole super team of deities. And as they argue, Homer tells them that if they're quiet for the rest of the trip, he'll let them know who the real god is.
And their bickering continues as Homer unbuckles his seatbelt and goes to the back seat while the car is still in motion. As the vehicle swerves, Ned suggests that Apu call for Hawkman, while Apu tells Ned to shut up. They finally arrive on the streets of Winnipeg with a sign that says, "We were born here. What's your excuse?" So as they load up their drugs, Homer and the gang run into a Canadian who looks an awful lot like Ned.
Well, circle cut my bacon. Look at all these Yankee doodly dandies. Is there another Vietnam going on?
Hello, neighborino to the north. I sure like the cut of your gibberish.
Cohen doodly
Iddly
diddly.
oodly. Iddly oodly.
Pick-a-doodly.
Loony oodly.
Noodly doddly
Iddly
diddly
oodly.
doddly. Chuck
Loony
the
oodly.
diddly daddler Etner.
Maple aidly.
Noodly doddly diddly
Iddly
doddly.
oodly.
Say, would you like to puff on a reeferino? It's legal here.
They warned me Satan would be attractive. Let's go. Anyone want some coffee for the ride back?
It's not that convenience store crap, is it? Because I don't feed that to my dogs.
No, it's homebrewed. Careful. It's hotter than a Fox News weather skank.
Ooh, my hot.
Here, let me wrap this wet towel around your head to cool you off.
Stop him! He's expressing his faith, eh?
Hold on, we're just innocent tourists.
So we didn't talk about the god bickering between Apu and Flanders, which I think was a fun little take on how religions are just kind of silly altogether.
Yes. And I liked the bit with the Canadian Ned and, like, the devil would be attractive. Like, that line always sticks with me. I like that.
I know we discussed that in our original, and that's probably like one of our, I'm assuming, maybe one of our favorite scenes at that time. But I guarantee you, we talked about this and how problematic it was.
Yeah. First of all, I get that Ned would watch Fox News because he's supposed to be conservative. But to refer to one of the correspondents as a weather skank, even if that's what Fox News was calling them at the time or now, I don't know, maybe they are. I don't think Ned would say that.
Yeah, it is kind of jarring him for use that language. Women.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the setup is fine. Like, here's some hot coffee. Let me wrap a towel around you. Like, so stupid.
Also, I know I'm the coffee guy, but like, Apu saying it's none of that convenience store crap. That's funny.
That's good. Yeah, because he works there. Yeah, but I think it is just a little insensitive joke. We'll leave it at that.
And also, the fact that the Canadian was bothered by it also doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right.
Like, if they were in America and they were persecuted for expressing their opinion, but it doesn't make sense for Canada because Canada's a lot more open-minded. I don't know. It's just clunky all around to me.
Well, it's because they're trying to go back to America, so why is it the Canadian Border Patrol, right?
Well, because they have to, when you cross the border, you have to be like, hey, I am declaring that I have this. Yeah. I don't know.
You're right.
Just
You're
all
right,
around,
right.
I think it's messy.
You're
yeah.
Right. Because we have to talk to the Americans to get into Canada, and then we have to talk to the Canadians to get back to America. Right? Is that how that works? I haven't crossed the border in a long time, Steve. So,
because it's more about what you take out than what you put in.
Right. That's what she said.
Ew.
It never gets old.
But one joke I do like is Homer opens the car door, and pills start to spill out, and they keep on spilling out, and they keep on spilling out, and it seems like they're done, and then it goes some more, till it seems like it couldn't possibly be any more. And then Apu lets out another problematic scream, then apologizes as he took another sip of his coffee.
So, on local media, the Canadian News and Last Minute Update reports that the Mounties have busted a major American drug smuggling ring, and former astronaut Homer Simpson has been taken into custody. Nice callback there. Homer watches from behind bars, noting how big his butt looks in the perp walks. So the authorities then inform Homer that his car has been searched.
We've confiscated your car and its contents.
Nous avons confisqué votre voiture et ses contenus.
You may leave Canada, but never return.
Vous êtes permis de quitter le Canada, mais vous n'avez plus le droit de rentrer.
I am a big fat French idiot.
Je suis un grand, gros, hey!
No more drugs. We let everyone down.
Your jacket, senor. Thank God we did not stitch your name over the breast.
Oh. Dad, you tried your best. For the first time in my life, I can say without being drunk that I truly admire you. Oh.
Why the interpreters was a good bit, and I'm pretty sure we talked about how we liked it back in the original era.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
So Homer and Abe hug on the bench outside of the retirement home, and while doing so, Homer chugs a 40 of Duff. Also, you don't really see Duff in 40s anymore, so that's kind of nice. Chief Wiggum pulls up his squad car, shouting, "No drinking in public." And Homer shoves the beer in a brown paper bag, making it disappear to Wiggum.
It's just a fun little cute scene.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in the office of C. Montgomery Burns, Monty thinks that there's nothing quite like canceling an employee drug plan to make you feel at peace with the universe. Wayland agrees, and Burns tells him to shut up. Monty has grown sick of Wayne's toadying complete agreeability, his gasping on the floor.
Burns tells his underling that if this is some sort of prank, he should stop immediately. But it seems that Smithers' thyroid is swelling up. Burns needs Smithers' throat to be clear and ready for perjury, among other things. But when the drug plan was canceled, Whalen could no longer afford his thyroxine. Smithers attempts to offer some poignant, meaningful words before dying, but Burns vows to move heaven and earth to save his faithful assistant, especially since it's easier than showing his replacement, the new filing system.
Back at the retirement castle, Abe wishes they could do one more big score, but there's no way to drive past Border Patrol unnoticed. Homer then imagines other ways to enter Canada, such as being carried by King Kong. While he imagines planes attacking the gigantic ape, he realizes the plane is the answer. Abe is skeptical, but Homer argues that they need a pilot. And as luck would have it, one appears.
I've got everything you need.
Katharine Hepburn?
No, you fool, 'tis I, Burns. Now come with me. At last, my plane shall be used for its original purpose, to subvert the laws of the United States.
Looks like your plane's pretty full, eh? Don't want to overload it.
Puh, typical Canadian wimpiness. That's why you have snowballs and we have the H-bomb. We really appreciate your help, Johnny. Is there any way we can repay you?
Well, I've always wanted to see a man with the IQ of a child executed by the state. We don't get that up here.
Really? In America, we do it 4 times a week. You come on down and I'll get us front row seats.
I'd like that.
I love a good execution.
Yeah, and I think we're bringing back firing squads, so that's fun.
Neat. Can we sign up to be one? Really?
Yes, no, that's a real thing that's happening in the year 2026. We're reinstituting firing squads.
Can I guess which states allow it?
Yeah, I don't know them, but yes, you can.
Florida and Texas.
Exactly. But yeah, that is good social commentary. How do you think Abe and Johnny, know each other?
They didn't have any... he doesn't talk about it. I mean, I'm assuming maybe they fought together in the war, Canadian and Americans teaming up. I don't know. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
Maybe they're pen pals. Remember being pen pals with someone?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they're, this is a problematic term, but maybe they're Eskimo brothers.
What if it's just his half-brother that he just doesn't want to admit?
There's just a whole line of Simpson half-brothers.
Yeah.
I like that. There's just generations of them. Okay, I'll accept it.
I love when Burns shows up and Homer calls him Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
That
looks like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as the plywood pelican braves the stormy skies of Manitoba, Burns notices that they're losing altitude and will have to drop some weight. Homer, munching on some donuts, possibly Tim Hortons, swears that he can lose some pounds and then attempts to do some jumping jacks until deciding that death would be preferable.
As the turbulence grows, it seems that an emergency landing is the only choice. Homer comments that at least they are all going through this together, but at the moment, Monty claims one of the 3 parachutes for himself and the other 2 is gifts for his nephews. I think that was a joke we loved in the past. Abe is scared, but Homer is confident that he can fly the plane on wing and a prayer. Just then, one of those wings of the plane falls off.
The plywood pelican barrels towards central Springfield, stopping just in front of a cop car where Wiggum is asleep inside. And other cops arrive on the scene, ready to arrest Abe and Homer as drugs pour out of that wooden plane.
All right, you're under arrest.
On what charge?
Making a police chief go... Get in the car. And don't touch those guns. I just loaded them.
You'll have to arrest me, too. Abe Simpson brought the propecia to keep grass on Willie's field.
You cured my lumbago. Thank you.
My diaper rash.
My flavonoids are not so hurtful.
Thanks to his lactose intolerance pills, I can drink this crusty brand milkshake. Terrible!
Well, Simpson, you have helped a lot of people. So, like it says in the Springfield Police Handbook, if you can't beat them, join them.
Chief, I've been checking the handbook. A lot of the things you say aren't in there at all.
Yeah, well, look a little closer, Lou.
If you can't beat him, join him. That doesn't fit the situation at all.
Yeah, I guess.
I do like, hey, get in the back seat and don't touch their guns. I just loaded them. That's funny.
Yeah, he's had a couple good moments in this. So when he's asleep right here, Wiggum, and then earlier when he saw them drinking, and then when they put it in the paper bag, he couldn't see it. Why is Willie wearing pants? Doesn't he have a different outfit?
It's weird. He's just wearing slacks and his shirt. Like, where's his kilt? Especially if he wants to show that there's grass in the field. Like, it feels like a skirt would, or the kilt would show that a little bit better.
Yeah, because he was making, like, that is like a pubic hair joke, right? Grass on the field, but he's just showing his chest hair. Do you think that was probably supposed to be in the script, that he was going to flip open his kilt and they had to re-edit it because of censors? I'm not making a joke. Yeah. I'm just like,
no, it's just weird because when in the history of the series, have we seen Willie in pants? Like,
well, because he always wears the overalls with that color.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just for the joke of him opening his shirt, and so maybe he should have just been in his kilt. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird.
They didn't want to animate him taking his coveralls off. I think that's it. I don't know why we're having this discussion, Steve. This is a cartoon. After all,
that's true.
I feel like there should have been, like, when Nelson says "my diaper rash," he should have ha-ha'd himself.
Ooh, yeah.
Or because he's standing next to comic book guy, before he said his thing, just like turned him real quick and said "ha-ha," and then say what his condition was.
Ooh, yeah, that's the move right there. Yeah.
There you go. Well, Steve, Mr. Burns parachutes onto the grounds of his mansion, rushing inside, up the stairs, hoping that he isn't too late, and Monty opens the door to find Smithers encased in glass, much like Snow White after eating that poisoned apple. So Burns then lifts the glass and allows a single drop of potion to fall into Smithers' mouth. When that doesn't work, Burns decides that only his sour curdled breath will save Smithers. I can, like, smell that breath. That's gross.
It's really gross. The words sour and curdled just really work. So the two men's lips touch, and Wayland sighs with delight. Monty passes out as Smithers' throat returns to its normal size. Wayland thanks his boss, and Burns admits that he was being a stingy old fool. He then declares that he will provide complete drug coverage for all of his full-time employees.
And back at 742 Evergreen Terrace, Homer runs to the kitchen, excited to tell Marge that he's now a freelance consultant. He then notices a new lump growing from his neck, and that's how it ends. It's nice to know that the way corporations can get around not paying people for health care is, well, you're only going to work 38 hours a week, so you don't make the 40 hours to get health insurance. Sorry.
So you'll have to spend 5 days at work, and you get paid less, but you also won't get coverage. So, yeah, there's that.
At least I'm saving money, because I'm the owner.
That's right. And with that gleeful note, let's take a break and think about what we just saw. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. Let's finish up our discussion of Midnight RX. We'll talk about, our favorite scenes, the things that made us laugh, maybe the things we didn't like so much, and our overall thoughts of the episode. We'll talk about what we're going to watch next week. But before we do all that, we here at the 138 Simpsons podcast love gifts. And we love to share gifts from this episode for our co-host with things that we think they might enjoy. And Craig, I've got some things for you. First of all, I've got you some tickets to the Air and Space Museum. So the next time you're in Springfield,
ooh, neat,
and you drive 18 hours to get there, we got tickets for you. And you can have a nice little snack of some ginger root while you're there. And then I got you a backless tux and a silk-lined coffin, so you can rest in peace, in comfort. And, of course, I also got you drugs. Lots and lots of drugs. Fine, I also got you a DVD player with some Canadian maple syrup.
I appreciate a majority of those gifts.
Hey, that's great.
I would like you to also enjoy my gifts. Not the ones that you gave me, the ones I'm giving you. But I'm sure you would enjoy your gifts, too. I got you a costume of Mr. Burns so you can dance like Mr. Burns at kids' parties.
Yay.
And if you want to touch something that's nice and thick and cylindrical and you could stroke it a bunch, I got you this velvet rope.
Oh.
And if you're ever feeling a little narcoleptic and you need to fall asleep, I went to museums to buy a bunch of museum videos that will definitely put you to sleep.
So let me just understand what you got me. You got me access to a kid's party, some rope, and something that'll make people sleepy?
Then I got you, it's not from this episode, but it's from the private collection of cocktail recipes from Bill Cosby.
Nice.
I wouldn't say I got you take us to a children's party, Steve. I just said if you wanted to dress up like Mr. Burns to entertain the children at a party, you're free to do that.
Right, I gotta weigh in.
Yeah, because, when like little kids like, Mom and Daddy, I want a birthday party, and I want a Mr. Burns to be there.
I loved my themed Mr. Burns parties when I was a kid.
I mean, I guess you would be the kid that would want a Mr. Burns themed Christmas party. I mean,
it'd be excellent.
Party. Christmas party. Yeah, any party. Can we just start being Simpsons party planners?
I like this.
We don't, we'll make it look like Eat Paint Bart because we can't use the actual, like Homer and the actual looking. It'll just be really off brand. I'm not done yet. I also got you a little hand sander so you can sand your fingernails or your fingertips so you could commit crime. You also got a jacket, even though I think those characters didn't really make it, as popular side characters. But you don't get the Operation Dumbo drop jacket, or you don't get a Planet Hollywood or a Taz one. I do have one from a production, and it is a cast and crew jacket like that from the TV show Herman's Head.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, it was just in the dumpster behind a Goodwill.
Signed by Yeardley Smith.
And the rest. Yeah. And last but not least, as a coffee connoisseur you are, I got you racist coffee. The coffee that Flanders has and gives to Apu.
I believe it's called Black Rifle Coffee.
Is that a real coffee?
It is. Their commercials are awful. It's like machine guns and bikini girls and talking about how great America is. And if you know anything about the coffee industry, none of it comes from America. And their coffee is shitty too. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about The Simpsons. And but thank you for your kind gifts. What about this gift of an episode? Did you like it, or are you going to return it for store credit? Give me your thoughts, Craig.
I am thinking our original assessment of this episode wasn't as positive, and I kind of feel that. Well, I remember some of the jokes, and I do appreciate a lot of the jokes. Of like the museum video was really funny. Moe's costume, great. I think it's because we're kind of this episode to me felt like a little bit of like the Fighting Hellfish, the $1 trillion one. Anytime like Burns is in it, but Burns is kind of only in the first and third act, and then not much is done with him in the middle, and then adding Grampa. But like sometimes when you have Grampa, he needs to be like the clever guy and solves all the problems. But this one, I just felt like he did what he was doing, but nothing was abnormal with his story. The Canadian guys with the French and English interpreters was one of my favorite scenes. And there's not much story like why does Grampa, we talked about in the episode, like with why doesn't Grampa or how does Grampa knows this Canadian guy. Other than another funny scene, of course, I liked the dope Flanders. Okay, I think I got my scenes out of the way. So those are the positives. But I think back to my review. I'm sorry, this is all over the place, but I find that it's sad in like 25 years after this episode aired that we're still talking about drug prices and like nothing's ever changed. Nothing will change. Everything's going to be the same. Prices will get higher. Wages will stay the same. And we're just going to be repeating the cycle over and over and over again until we're dead. Being reminded of that, this episode is really depressing. And I can't fathom it. This is an episode I don't enjoy that much. So I'm probably still on the side of I will skip this episode. It's just being reminded of how shitty the world is and how we're fucked. And so that's why I'm not a fan of it. They do go to Winnipeg, and we all know Winnipeg is a booming sports center. And we all know the greatest team in Winnipeg is...
The Jets.
Wrong. The Blue Bombers, the Canadian football team.
Of course.
Unlike the Jets, they've actually won a championship or two. That's right. They've won 12. Steve, can you count to 12?
1, 2, 3, 12.
They've won 12 Grey Cups. Apparently that's the name of the thing that you win. They won in 35, 39, 41, 58, 59, 61, 62, 84, 88, 1990, 2019, and 2021. So
wow,
they be the Bombers. If I were to give this episode a ranking out of one of their winning years, I think 2019 was probably the year I would rank this because that was a COVID season, so it's probably shortened. And of course, the author of this episode, writer of this episode, Mr. Wilmore, passed away that year. So that's how I feel about this episode. Steve, how about you?
12 Great Cups, good for a football team, even better for a sports equipment store. Athletic Cups, I mean.
Oh.
There are some positives to this. I think the opening in the Air and Space Museum...
There's no air in space!
There's an Air and Space Museum. I think the video about informational videos is fun. I like Wiggum in this. The little scene with him not seeing the beer because it's in a brown bag. It's fun. I think that the gag of the pills spilling out and continually spilling out, always funny. And I think the overall message about, American drug prices are laughably high, and we're a developed nation that shouldn't have to deal with this, but here we are. It's a good message. I just think the execution was not that great, unlike Johnny, who would really enjoy the execution. Some of the logic doesn't make sense to me, why are the specklers going to the museum, and why did it take them 18 hours to get there? If you can't beat them, join them is not a rule that applies to this. The problematic Apu stuff with the chanting, which is more not even something that a Hindu would do, it just doesn't connect with me. And I feel like we're in the weird post jerk-ass Homer into really stupid Homer. And that's fine, I guess. But I don't know. This episode just didn't really work for me. I think that it didn't feel like the voices were not properly Simpsoning, Ned calling the Fox Weather Girl news skank. Just so much of it just didn't quite fit the voice properly. And we've had other Marc Wilmore episodes that we've enjoyed, and I think this one just kind of falls a little bit flat. So this is a skip for me. And if I had to give it a ranking, Lisa mentions that the plywood pelican weighs more than New Hampshire. And according to Google, though it's very hard to judge how much a state actually weighs, the ballpark would be about 58 trillion pounds. And so out of 58 trillion pounds, I'm going to give this 350.
350.
Yeah, it's a skip. It's fine. There are some good moments, but overall, it's not really worth it. But maybe, just maybe, next week will be a bit more promising. To know what that is, we have to talk to our friend, the Wheel Random. So let's give it a spin to see which season we're in. Boop-doop. All right, we have season 19.
Hey 19, as Steely Dan would say.
Indeed. Let's give it another spin to see which episode we're watching. Boop-doop. All right, we have episode 9, season 19, episode 9. Craig, what do you think the title of that episode is?
Well, of course, we have to relate the title to this title. This is Midnight RX. Is that a parody of the title Midnight Express, the 1978 American prison drama directed by Alan Parker, adapted by Oliver Stone from Billy Hayes' 1977 memoir that stars Brad Davis with Irene Miracle, Will Hopkins, Paul F. Smith, Randy Quaid, and John Hurt in supporting roles? That one?
The very same, yes.
Ah, well then, Oliver Stone is a pretty famous writer director. This will be based off of another Oliver Stone film, a written and directed film, the 1991 film The Doors, but this one will be called The Annoyed Grunt oars.
I like this.
All right. Is this right?
I would watch that, but sadly that is incorrect because next week's episode is Eternal Moonshine of the Simpson Mind.
But it was based off of a movie, like I said.
That is true. Partial credit. What do you think that's about, Craig?
Well, if I know Eternal Moonshine of the Spotless Mind, is that the name of the movie? Eternal Sunshine, Spotless Mind.
Yes.
It's about a sun that doesn't go out because it's eternal.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, this one will be about Homer is stuck at work because it was snowed in and they can't escape. He can't go to Moe's. There's no Duff beer, so he's freaking out. So him and Lenny and Carl decide that they got a bunch of like cooling tanks and stuff that could probably brew beer. So they take nuclear waste and start brewing beer. And they drink the brewed nuclear waste and they get really high. And it becomes like a very trippy movie. What's a very trippy movie, Steve?
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Sure. It'll have a ending. It'll have a scene similar to the scene with Jennifer Connelly in Requiem for a Dream. You know what scene I'm talking about. Everyone knows what scene I'm talking about. But it'll be a three-way with Homer, Lenny, and Carl, but the same situation. Because they drank the beer, the nuclear waste beer. The episode ends with them turning into salamanders. And that's how the episode ends.
I do like this plot, but not quite correct. Because what happens is Homer wakes up to find himself outdoors and covered in snow.
Ooh, I had snow and Homer.
That's true. Without memory of the night before. When he comes home, he finds everyone is missing. So, seeking help from Moe and Professor Frink, Homer tries to piece together his memory to figure out just what the hell happened to him. So, this originally aired on December 16, 2007, written by J. Stuart Burns. Do you remember this episode? Or are you like Homer and have no memory of it at all?
I think I'm leaning towards that. Is this a Christmas episode because it aired close to Christmas and there's snow?
Perhaps. I mean, it could be that they all went out to Santa's kingdom for some nice Christmas revelry and left Homer behind, but I don't know.
Because I know it's the wrong episode, but isn't like that how the Gump roast is? Like, it was all tricked to get Homer because they're going to celebrate something. Isn't that something like that's the whole thing in this episode? That there's like a surprise party for Homer, and that's what... I guess I don't remember. Yeah, so let's not spoil it. Let's just wait and watch it next week and find out.
Alrighty. And yeah, I'm excited to do that. And we're excited to do that with you, listener. And thank you so much for listening this week and every week. And hey, if you want to reach out to us, you can by going to the socials like Instagram or YouTube at 138simpsons, or you can always email us at 138simpsons@gmail.com.
And don't forget to sign up to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/annoyedgrandboys. For $5 a month, you get a bonus episode every week. We'll be talking about a Golden Age episode of The Simpsons one week. The next week, we'll just be talking about another television show. And maybe the next week, we'll be talking about a movie that a Simpsons related, like maybe an actor that works on The Simpsons or has been on The Simpsons would be in that movie. Or just a movie because we want to watch a movie. And of course, there's the Annoyed Grunt Boys, which is just that, us being our annoyed grunt selves.
Great stuff all around. And hey, if you're so kind, go to your favorite podcatching app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent, and write a review, but you don't need to write a real review. Just tell us your method of getting across the border using, I don't know, a movie monster or aircraft or whatever you want. I just want to know how you're going to get from America to Canada, and let us know.
All right, and don't forget tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys for your Annoyed Grunt Boy merch.
Alrighty, thank you so much again for listening. For this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And remember, je suis un gros idiot Francois.
Rain makes it catch on fire.
My diaper rash!